In 1954, a man arrived at Tokyo airport carrying documents from a nation that did not exist. Taured appeared real on maps, passports, and banking records. Officials detained him overnight. By morning, the man had vanished completely from a locked hotel room without explanation. Investigators searched the room carefully. Guards swore nobody entered or exited during the night. Yet the mysterious traveler, his documents, and briefcase disappeared entirely. No fingerprints remained beyond those already recorded by police. The unanswered question still lingers. The story of the man from Taured spread quietly through paranormal circles for decades. Skeptics called it fiction. Others linked it to theories about dimensional slips, parallel worlds, and alternate histories bleeding unexpectedly into our reality through unseen fractures. In 1986, pilot Bruce Gernon reported flying through strange electrical clouds near the Bahamas. His instruments malfunctioned completely. Time appeared distorted. When he landed in Florida, he discovered nearly 30 minutes missing from the flight logs and fuel calculations. Air traffic controllers confirmed unusual timing discrepancies that day. Gernon insisted the sky around his aircraft formed a tunnel-like structure. Scientists blamed weather phenomena and instrument confusion. Yet no explanation fully accounted for the missing elapsed time recorded. In Liverpool during the 1990s, several witnesses claimed they entered a familiar street only to find it transformed entirely. Cars vanished. Clothing styles changed. Buildings appeared decades older. Minutes later, reality shifted back without warning. Investigators found no evidence. Psychologists classify such events as dissociation or memory distortion. Yet many witnesses describe identical details independently. Similar reports emerge worldwide. Sudden silence, altered surroundings, unfamiliar people, and a sensation that reality itself briefly misaligned. In 1979, a woman named Bold Street in Liverpool became linked to repeated time-slip accounts. One witness entered a bookstore that should not have existed anymore. Staff wore outdated uniforms. Newspapers displayed impossible dates. When she returned later, everything was gone. Historians later confirmed the exact store once occupied that location decades earlier. Skeptics argue subconscious memory reconstructed forgotten details unconsciously. Others question how strangers could describe identical experiences without knowing local history beforehand. In quantum theory, some physicists propose parallel universes may exist simultaneously beside ours. The many worlds interpretation suggests reality constantly branches into endless possibilities. Most scientists reject paranormal conclusions. Still, the mathematics remains unsettling. Hugh Everett introduced the many worlds theory in 1957. At first, mainstream physicists dismissed the concept entirely. Decades later, the interpretation gained serious academic attention. If parallel realities exist mathematically, could rare intersections happen physically too? CERN's Large Hadron Collider reignited public fascination with dimensional theories. Online conspiracies claimed experiments opened microscopic rifts between realities. Scientists firmly denied such claims. Yet strange coincidences surrounding memory and perception continued emerging. The Mandela Effect became one of the Internet's strangest modern phenomena. Thousands of unrelated people remembered events differently from recorded history. Brand names, movie quotes, and even historical details appeared altered. False memory explains much, but not every account. One persistent Mandela effect centers around Nelson Mandela himself. Many people distinctly remembered him dying in prison during the 1980s. In reality, he survived and became South Africa's president decades later. Psychologists call it collective false memory. Others disagree. In 2006, a woman posting online described driving through Nevada when the sky changed color abruptly. Radio stations emitted static. Nearby cars disappeared completely. Seconds later, traffic returned normally. She never identified the exact location again, despite repeated searches. Similar stories appear across decades and continents. Drivers describe empty highways, vanished buildings, and periods of total silence before reality suddenly resumes. Investigators rarely find physical evidence afterward. Yet witness descriptions remain disturbingly consistent. The Philadelphia experiment remains among history's most controversial conspiracy legends. According to unverified claims, a 1943 naval experiment rendered a destroyer invisible. Witnesses later alleged teleportation, disorientation, and psychological collapse among surviving crew. Historians found no confirmed evidence supporting the Philadelphia experiment story. The Navy denied the claims repeatedly. Still, declassified military projects involving electromagnetic research fueled speculation. Mystery thrives whenever official secrecy overlaps strange rumors. In 1961, Betty and Barney Hill reported losing time while driving through New Hampshire. Their testimony became the first widely publicized alien abduction case. Hypnosis revealed fragmented memories, missing hours, and terrifying confusion neither could fully explain afterward. Skeptics attribute the Hill case to stress, dreams, and suggestive hypnosis techniques. Yet, investigators noted unusual emotional trauma in both witnesses. Their descriptions remained consistent under questioning. Even decades later, parts of the encounter remain unexplained. The concept of liminal spaces gained attention online through eerie photographs of empty malls, corridors, and forgotten buildings. Many viewers reported overwhelming familiarity and discomfort. Some psychologists suggest these spaces trigger subconscious fears tied to memory itself. Others believe liminal spaces resemble transitional points between realities. Reports often describe sudden silence, distorted time perception, and a strange certainty that something is deeply wrong. No scientific evidence confirms this theory. Yet the accounts continue spreading. In 1972, a French researcher named Jacques Vallée proposed that paranormal encounters might involve dimensions beyond normal human perception. Unlike traditional UFO theories, Vallée suggested reality itself may occasionally behave unpredictably in ways science barely understands. Vallée studied recurring patterns in witness testimony worldwide: missing time, distorted sound, sudden fear, impossible locations. Though controversial, his work influenced generations of investigators searching for rational explanations behind seemingly irrational events. In modern neuroscience, researchers acknowledge memory remains deeply unreliable. Human perception constantly reconstructs reality imperfectly. Yet some cases resist easy explanation because multiple witnesses independently describe identical, impossible events across different regions. One unsettling pattern appears repeatedly in parallel reality claims: silence. Witnesses often describe environments becoming unnaturally quiet moments before strange events occur. Scientists blame stress responses. Still, the recurring detail continues appearing across testimonies. In Tokyo during 2013, commuters reported briefly seeing unfamiliar station signs and routes before everything returned to normal. Authorities blamed fatigue and overcrowding. yet online forums filled with nearly identical accounts from strangers who had never met before. Some physicists argue humans misunderstand probability entirely. Rare coincidences inevitably happen within massive populations. But when impossible memories, altered surroundings, and synchronized witness reports accumulate repeatedly, coincidence alone begins feeling insufficient. Government agencies occasionally studied human perception anomalies during the Cold War. Declassified files reveal interest in altered consciousness, remote viewing, and sensory distortion. Most projects produced no confirmed breakthroughs. Yet the secrecy intensified public suspicion. Online communities dedicated to dimensional shifts now archive thousands of testimonies worldwide. Most are explainable. Some are obvious fabrications. A small number remain deeply unsettling because witnesses report details later verified independently through historical records. One recurring fear links many accounts together: the idea that reality is less stable than humanity assumes. Witnesses often describe overwhelming dread after returning to normality. Some insist subtle differences remained afterward, impossible to prove but impossible to ignore. Scientists maintain no verified evidence proves parallel universes intersect physically with our world. Yet theoretical physics continues exploring dimensions beyond human observation. The line between impossible and merely undiscovered grows thinner with each passing decade. Perhaps every unexplained story has a rational cause hidden beneath confusion and fear. Or perhaps human perception occasionally catches glimpses of realities existing beside our own unnoticed. The terrifying possibility lies in never knowing which explanation is true. Across history, people reported impossible places, vanished time, altered memories, and sudden distortions of reality itself. Most accounts faded into obscurity. Yet the consistency between separated witnesses leaves investigators confronting questions science still cannot answer. Tonight, we explored documented mysteries, witness testimony, and theories surrounding parallel realities intersecting with ours. Maybe every event can be explained through psychology and coincidence. Or maybe, somewhere unseen, another version of reality already touches our own. Thanks for watching After Hours Mysteries. Until next time.